Welcome to the Short Funk Podcast. I'm Tom Barbalet. Today, I found myself wandering around, I guess what's called broadly a strip mall, but it's actually probably considerably larger than a strip mall. It used to be the power plant in San Jose. And now, funnily enough, it's called the power plant, shopping center? I think it's just called the power plant. In any case, I had a few minutes to walk around. I was going to go and buy some soil and various other things at the local Home Depot, but, I had some time to kill. I was just wandering around. Came up to a Toys R Us for probably, more time than we've been in the Bay Area, so back in our Vegas days even. I occasionally went into toy stores and asked if they sold insurgent figures, or asked if they sold terrorist figures, or really sold any kinds of Iraqis or Afghans. And I usually got a rather strange look from that. And I pointed to the wide variety of US military toys that they had. Just said, who do these toys fight against? Like, how can children have a coherent sense of what's going on if there's no enemy? And then I started to realize that actually the enemy is a ghost. Like, the enemy isn't really part of this thing. It's about kids playing with toy soldiers with no notion of any kind of opposition. Even within the toy soldier community, like the lead or plastic toy soldier community, it's really difficult to get your hands on like Iraqis or Afghan soldiers. There's many different companies that make like modern American military toy soldiers, but even the games that are played with these toy soldiers, I was kicked off a podcast for giving a lukewarm review to a modern-day game that really didn't have an enemy. In fact, it was very curious how the game would be played because you basically played the US military just rolling around and occasionally firing on buildings, but there were no actual, opposing forces. I mean, it was all very psychologically curious. Through the Second World War and even the Vietnam conflict, kids could get their hands onto enemy toy soldiers. Like, you'd buy a pack of Americans and you'd buy a pack of Germans, and there'd be representations of both of them. Kids today have no toys that represent the enemy. And it's very curious. I mean, it's a strange kind of psychology where the enemy almost doesn't exist. Or maybe it's a more honest account of basically what we're doing, that actually when kids play with toy soldiers now, it's about collecting as many toy soldiers as possible. It's not about fighting an enemy. It's about making sure that the Play Pentagon, I guess, continues to fund the production of more and more toy soldiers and more weapons. But the enemy just isn't there anymore. Very strange. Tom Barbalet in San Jose, signing out.